event. Trilogy is going pretty good so far. Let's go to Ultima 5, Warriors of Destiny. So now that we became the Avatar, we no longer have a class. We're no longer Paladin. We're just Avatar. And in this one, some evil returns to the land. And you guys are in for a treat here. I don't think I've ever played this in a marathon before. And maybe never again, but if we're all set, time starts on new hero. And I'm gonna get going. It looks like the layout is good. And really they thought that Ultima 4 was too good and we have to tone it down a notch, because I think they tried to make this like more like the PC versions, but it was just a bad idea. They should have just kept it like, you know, like Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior or something nice and clean on the NES like that. But they tried to make this like a PC game and it just doesn't really work very well, as you will see why in a second. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! So again, there's a quiz at the start, you know. Here's a bag of gold on the side of the road. Do you keep it for yourself or find its rightful owner? And it's this personality quiz, but this time it just doesn't matter at all. Like, I don't really care what I choose here. I'm just mashing A. I got a shepherd staff there. These all give you stats. Like the shepherd staff gives you 0 stats if you pick that one. And then your friends Shamino and Yolo are here with you, and then all of a sudden these Shadow Lords appear, zap Shamino with the zappy finger. And there's Blackthorn, the villain of the land. Now here at the start of the game, we're gonna immediately equip the tent and the book. We're gonna go to Shamino, disequip everything he has, unequip the bow from Yolo, and start deleting all of our gear. Throwing it away. Now we're gonna ask everybody to leave because they lag the game. So goodbye, YOLO. It was nice knowing you, buddy. We don't have to go to the hostel like we did in 4 to drop them off. We can just do this. Now we'll use our level 1 escape spell, which teleports us to one of the 8 fixed locations in the world. These are like the moon gates, I guess. We're looking for a specific one. Here it is. We found it on the 3rd try. That's pretty good. World record gets this in 2 tries. But it's a 1 in 8 chance to get to this one. This is really the only viable starting one. This is Serpent's Hold teleport. But for some reason you start in level 1 with the spell book that has the escape spell, but it doesn't really escape you from a dungeon. It just teleports you around the world. Which is pretty broken, really, for a level 1 spell to do. So we go to this vendor, buy a chainmail, buy a skiff, say no, and say buy, because B-U-Y and B-Y-E, buy, buy, buy. That's a good song, I heard. And so we go up here, talk to this lady, buy some skull keys. Sold, got the skull keys. We're just gonna teleport some more. That didn't take us very many teleports, so we can death warp if we don't find the city of Pause pretty close. Also, keep in mind this game runs at like 5 FPS. Like, it only really accepts inputs 5 times per second, so you really have to kind of hold the D-pad. I'm not getting very lucky on the teleports here. We're looking for something close to Pause. When I get back to Serpent's Hold, we'll just take a death. Get there like that. But this is... Okay, here's Britain. That's what we wanted. We equip the boat in the offhand, and the book in the main hand, and we equip the chain armor. Chain armor is, we have to tank some enemies. This run is pacifist, by the way. Even though it's any percent, it's just naturally pacifist. We don't fight anything in the run. So we head down to this graveyard. This is the town of Britain. And we turn into a boat so that we can get across this river and hit the town of Pause. The map is pretty similar to Ultima 4. Pause is directly south of Britain, like it always is. The world map always stays the same. We talk to this guy. He teaches us how to play the harpsichord. And in this game there's like this conversation mechanic where you can talk to people about different events. And he teaches us how to play the harpsichord, and he gives us the sheet music. We buy 11 blue potions and some lockpicks. And we're gotta go out of pause here to the east, and we're gonna sail east to Buccaneer's Den. Remember in Ultima 4, we went to Buccaneer's Den to buy a whole bunch of stuff. We got the key, the herb stacks, the crossbow, everything. So now we're gonna go over to Buccaneer's Den in Ultima 5, and we're gonna land. Notice that there's no random battles in the world. All the enemies you can see. Head into Buccaneer's Den here, and there's also this night-day mechanic now. I don't know what it is. I guess it's daytime right now, so I guess this guy is gonna be down in this house, but the NPCs that you need to talk to are in different places if it's night or day, so he's down here, like I thought. And we talked to him about some mountains, and he tells us about a grapple hook, and that's all we need here. We talked about a grapple hook. That was it. Okay, we found Trinsic. I'll go into Trinsic and talk to this guy. And his name is Sindar. He knows about wizards, and he knows about a dungeon and a password. He told us the password to get into that dungeon, which is the password to get into Dungeon Destard was Infama. I think it was in Destard, or maybe it was Shame, I'm not sure, but... And now we're gonna head down here to Jalom, since we're at Trinsic. This run is pretty varied in the routes. Like, depending on where these teleports take you, you can do everything in segments and do everything in different orders. So every run kind of looks different depending on your teleports. We're gonna walk down to bottom of the mainland here, head west, and we should run into an island to the west called Jalom. That's where Joffrey was in Ultima 4. And we need to pick up a couple things here, like a scroll. And this scroll is to do a skip later. And here it is in this house. It's a red scroll. It's the Tim scroll. It doesn't say what it is there, but it's TYM Tim scroll. So we have to rely on the powers of Tim to get us through the game here. And it's too early. He's not in the house, so he's... The next guy I need is probably out in the field somewhere. I think he's here. Alright, job, name, help, ple ple ple, he says. He needs help. And then he tells you the secret password, Anopia. That gets us into the second dungeon we need to get into. So we're done here in Jalom. I could use Britain for the carpets. We don't have the grapple, so that Minnock portal is no good. We're teleporting around the world here. Skara Brae, I guess we'll take Skara Brae, try to go up to, this is a bit farther than I would like. I would rather have the U teleport, but we're running low on magic, so we would have to death warp to, oh, there's some spooters there, wow. The game is always different, guys. Skara Brae, how do I get to, okay, I hope this is it. I hope this is the town of U here. It's hard to navigate when you're... I'm just winging this route here because the game is always so different. Okay, we found it. Yeah. That was a... I took this over the teleport. You can teleport directly to that building we were just passing, but you gotta get it randomly, and I'm running low on mana, so... We gotta talk about the grapple hook again. This grapple conversation is not available unless you talk to the other guy first. So he gives us the grapple hook, which we now have, and we just picked up an Ankh there. That's a free item use. It'll break eventually, but it does the same as the escape spell. And we got a nice lucky teleport here to Castle Britain, where we will equip our lockpicks. It's sheet music. Lockpick through the door. It's always a success. Like it can fail, I don't know why it's a success. Use our sheet music on the harpsichord to open that door, pick up the magic carpet, pick up the sandalwood box, and we're done here. So get our Ankh back on to teleport somewhere new. We can go to Minnock or Trinsic. Would be the two ideal spots to teleport to now. Really like Trinsic or Minnock. And there's Minnock, so let's take that. We're gonna grapple and carpet. Here's our first look at the magic carpet. There it is, in all its glory. This is a nice run if you want to go take a nap, and maybe catch some of the later runs. You won't be missing much. But we threw it in because there was a. This is the Ultima trilogy on the NES. There's 3 Ultima games on the NES, and I figured this game needed some lovin' as well. I'm poisoned somehow. How did that happen? That's rare. Pretty sure I'm poisoned. Anyways, do a lockpicks, and yep, there was a input eaten. Like I hit B there to equip the lockpicks, and the game said no. Remember, the game only accepts inputs like 5 times every second, and if you're just tapping the button too quickly, then the input is just not registered at all. Alright, we've pretty much got everything now. We need to go start doing some dungeons, so let's onk our way out of here and try to get to Trinsic. I probably just need to death warp. Let's just do that real quick, because I gotta get rid of this poison. I feel bad things will happen if I don't. So we're just gonna head to the ocean. Because, you know, the best way to take a death warp in this game is take your carpet and just fly to the ocean. Yeah, we need to get rid of that poison. Let's just fly over the deep water and soon enough. The best way to get rid of poison is just to die, right? So let's just... Wow, I'm making it very far over this dark water. What? Come on, man. This is not how it usually goes. There it goes. Come on. Damage, please. Come on. Alright. There we go. Goodbye. Alright, that did kill the poison. We need to get to Trinsic. Oh yeah, Squib has done 5 and 6. I always forget that there's other people that run this game. Alright, we made it to Trinsic. For a long time, I didn't know about that escape spell that could teleport you around to various spots. That was discovered by Zenik. I just thought it was a normal escape spell, so I never actually tried to use it because I thought it would just escape me out of a dungeon and not just teleport me to 8 fixed locations in the world. Alright, we got that guy to get off of the ladder there, so let's talk to this guy, say the password, and we can enter Dungeon Dustard. Now we're gonna walk in and use a blue potion and the carpet. And here, going to be a lot of walking, or I guess in this case, floating around these dungeons. As unlike Ultima 4, where all the dungeons were connected and down at the bottom, and it was nice and a neat mechanic that had. All of these dungeons are separate, so if you need something out of this dungeon, you have to go to this dungeon. So I kind of skimmed over this, but we're now invisible and flying, which is a pretty broken combination. So we can just fly over stuff as we proceed through Dungeon Dustard here. We're in search of the amulet. We need the amulet so that we can fly over black sparkly tiles later. And that's really the only reason. This is what East. I need to not lose focus here because it's very easy just to let your mind go blank as you're wandering around these dungeons and lose your way. As everything looks the same to me. I don't know about you guys, but there's very few landmarks in these places. Like I always have a good idea of where I am in Ultima 4 and 3, but in this game I don't know what happens, but the music is just kind of hypnotizing me. My mind is going blank, and if I don't stay awake here, then we're gonna get lost. I tend to get lost at least one time per run. I think I got lost in my record run. So anybody has better memory than I do and can avoid getting lost, you too can be an ulti master. Alright, lockpicks. Go here. We're still invisible, see? Notice that we're still invisible. That's because the invisibility doesn't wear off if you're on the carpet. So it's this synergy of being invisible and flying, and the invisibility never wearing out because you're on the carpet. For some reason, that is a thing. Alright, I think this is north. Still don't know where I am. I'm just trying to hang on and read my notes as best as I can. I hope you guys like this song, because there isn't any other song. I think in Ultima 4 they said, I think this game is too good. Let's tone it down a notch. But no, this is of course this is meant to be a PC game. This is just a NES port of a PC game, so of course the PC game is likely to be better than the NES port, but Ultima 4 is very clean for a NES port. Ultima 3 I consider the best speedrun. I consider Ultima 4 to be best casually, and this one is not very good at either thing. Right, there was me getting lost. Unfortunately, it was not a bad one. Southwest, west, south. Okay, here we go. Southwest. I think this is east, north, east, west. East, north, east, west, guys. We gotta remember. I have forgotten all of these paths. There was my mandatory getting lost one time per run. Hopefully we don't get lost again. Still haven't taken any forks, so all I write in my notes is the forks in the roads. So here I write E-N-E-W, and I know to go east there and then north at the next one. All I have. Hope you guys like this song, 'cause there isn't any other song. This would be a good time to go make popcorn and rest up for the runs that are after this run. East and north. Okay, we're almost through the first dungeon. This game is kind of hard on the D-pad thumb, so I tend to use two thumbs on the D-pad as there's not much else going on. There's some dragons. We saw some dragons. That was exciting. It was this way. Yeah. Alright, we made it to the underworld from Dungeon Dustard. So, we've got a change of scenery here, and remember, we're here to get the amulet, and the amulet lets us fly over dark, sparkly tiles, and that's the only reason why we're here. And that's like an 8-minute journey here, maybe 8 or 9 minutes to walk through that dungeon and walk through the underworld and pick up the amulet. Not a whole lot going on, except we're still invisible, by the way. And here's a dark tile here. If this kills me, I'm gonna be mad, but usually it's fine. But I think, pretty sure that dark that deep water tile has a chance to kill you if you just try to fly over it. Pretty sure you can get one shot by trying to fly over deep water. Usually I just go for it anyways, but that would have been a pretty big disaster if it killed me, as we would have had to go through that entire dungeon over again. That was like the most scary, dangerous part of the run, really. Got the scepter right. I need to confirm, but yeah, we did the scepter. And go up here. Go up, 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 up. And there should be some snakes around here if we're not lost. Yeah, there they are. Alright, we're close to the amulet here. Let me double check that I have the scepter. We land, pick up the amulet. We need that to get over the dark sparkly tiles. We do have the scepter. We do need to equip the Ankh, place of the lockpicks, and portal out. We've got everything we need to beat the final dungeon. And let's just go there from the Town of Yew. There's like 3 different teleports I can take here to get to the final dungeon. And we've got everything. I think we just follow this river south, and when it goes east, we follow it, and we should be good. Yep, here's the River of Shame, entering Dungeon Shame. Got the Tim Scroll, we've got Scepter, so we should be good to go, and we've got the Amulet. Those are the 3 things you need to beat the game. A lot less things than in Ultima 4. As I did find a pretty major skip. I think I found it. I don't know if somebody else found it before I did, but I found a Shadow Lord skip. Usually you have to do 3 extra dungeons to defeat the Shadow Lords. Like at the end of each dungeon you have an item, and each item kills one of the 3 Shadow Lords. But I found a way just to walk past them. Not sure if I was the first or what, but let's head through Dungeon Shame here. Gotta focus a bit on not getting lost, but not too bad here. North, south, south. I think there's official lyrics to this song, by the way. Squibbins knows more about that than I do. Bum. Here. If you see me stopping, I'm probably just getting lost. Right, east or south. If you ever see the movement just completely stop, probably looking at my notes, as I'm a bit rusty at this, as it is hard. It's really hard to navigate these for me because I can't remember. There's so many forks in the road and everything looks the same that it's just really hard for me to navigate. And on top of that, the controller, the screen scrolls kind of like City Connection. The fact that it just kind of jerks every few frames or so. Although this one is the screen scrolling here is way worse. Alright, hopefully this was the right path. I hope you guys like Magic Carpet. I can show you the world, guys, but I don't think it's shining or shimmering or even splendid, but more like just dark and damp and not very smooth. Alright, west, south. Oh, this is always go left or down. To the north. So you have to say things like to the north once in a while, just to spice the run up a little bit, you know. There's some enemies, I don't know what they are. I'm invisible, I don't care. There's another guy, I don't care what that guy is either. We're still in Dungeon Shame. The reward for Dungeon Shame is getting to the underworld to a spot where final dungeon. There's an entrance to the final dungeon from the underworld in Shame. All right, this is the last of Dungeon Shame. This room here. This is the final floor. It's the slalom room. You have to go right, left, right, left, right. This is hard on the D-pad, thumb, Often I use 2 thumbs. This is great walking. I mean, Ultima 4 is good gameplay. So, can't just generally say that they're all bad gameplay. But this is just a NES port. Like, just because the NES port is bad doesn't mean the PC version is bad. But they should have kept this one and made it like the Ultima 4 NES port, and it would have been a lot better. Alright, we hit the underworld from Shame. We go east, and notice we're in the underworld only because we can know that we're in the underworld because there's no moons at the top. And also, I have no idea how the moons work in this game. I don't think anybody does. We need our boat, and it's fine. I don't think anybody actually knows how the moons work in this game, but there are moon gates, and you can use them. I know how the moon gates work perfectly in 3. I know how they work perfectly in 4, but then we get to Ultima 5, and I just have no clue how they work anymore. Somebody please investigate and tell me. Alright, we go here. There's the ladder to the final dungeon. We got a safety save here, because this is not safe what I'm about to do. I'm about to do the Shadow Lord skip. So we gotta save the game. ZZZZ. Notice the date is 1969, and we're gonna walk down the ladder, hold start. Oh, okay, they killed us. That's fine, we're just gonna take that save. I think I could have got it there, but I over-buffered the start button. And we're gonna try again. They got me again. Those are the Shadow Lords, and you're not supposed to do this. This is, I guess you could consider this a glitch. I'm just gonna try to skip past them. Hold start. There, I got it that time. And we use the Tim Scroll hype, and Scepter and Carpet to win. And we go up here, bust down this wall with the Scepter. Shadow Lords are out of my view, so... yeah, they kill you even through invisibility, so that was the Shadow Lord skip. That saves about 3 dungeons. I think I found that. I'm not sure if somebody else found that before me, but I feel like that I found that, but my memory is foggy on who gets credit for that skip. But yeah, you use the Tim scroll, T-Y-M, Tim. Definitely not the time scroll, but the Tim scroll. It stops time, and it lets you get through just long enough so that they don't one-shot you. That was the Shadow Lord skip, and it saved me going through 3 more of these dungeons. So you can thank me for creating this, because now the run is shorter. Again, apologies if somebody else has discovered that before me, but I'll take credit for it for now. But yeah, we have to do 3 less dungeons now because of that skip. In a casual playthrough, you have to do 3 more dungeons, which is just going through like this, and finding 3 more passwords to those dungeons to get into them in the first place, going down into the underworld and finding a certain item in each one of them, and it's just... that would add another good 30 minutes to the run. And we're still invisible, remember, we used that 1 invisibility potion like 20 minutes ago. This is gonna be this way. We're almost done here, guys. This is the final, this is Dungeon Doom, the final dungeon. And we just have some more carpet riding to go. I can show you the world, but it's not shining. There's some griffins. Well, Gryffindor! But, I don't know what griffins do. I don't know what anything does in this game. I just fly on this carpet, and we pacifist our way through every time. So here's the only visual cue in the game, those sparkly dudes. I know about those guys, because I know I need to go right after that. There's some skeletons. I know about those guys. I don't know what they do, or how... I actually don't think I even know how to fight in this game. I assume you just equip a sword up in the upper right and just hit A on the sword and then choose your target and hit A on the target, but I don't think I've, maybe I played this casually once and I just forgot, but I honestly have forgotten how to fight in this game at all. Here's the final area. There's a house down here in Dungeon Doom for some reason. And we're going to get off the carpets, equip our sandalwood box, which I hope I have, because you need to end the game with this. And time. There we go. That was about a sub 29 as expected. So there we go. There's Blackthorn, the villain. He's trying to corrupt the 8 virtues, and instead of justice, sacrifice, compassion, all that stuff, he's trying to change them into, you know, like greed and lust and despise and I don't know what else, but he's trying to corrupt the virtues. So I finally freed Lord British here, who was down in this house in Dungeon Doom for some reason. I guess Blackthorn trapped him in here. I released him from the mirror by touching the box to the mirror. And then, now that we're ganging up on him, I don't know why he's down here, but they give him a choice to face trial or take the moon gate to the unknown. So instead of coming to court with us, he decides to go through the gate, and as a reward, we shall have a grand banquet indeed. For all that work, all I get is a turkey leg and maybe some grog. And I doubt it will be high quality. So that wraps up the Ultima trilogy. Thanks for watching, guys, and we also did Defender of the Crown. But stay tuned to more great runs in Best of NES 2018 Marathon. I've got Final Fantasy III coming up on the final day, about 4 runs from the end, so keep a lookout for that, and sure to watch out for some more great runs, and I'm just gonna keep babbling on until you guys cut me off. Congratulations. Grand banquet is ours. We got the turkey leg, and if they didn't say congratulations once, then they'll say it again. Thanks for all the GGs, guys, and sure to stay tuned.